Right, hello everyone. So let's take a look at Thursday. This is Wednesday, as you can see now. With Wednesday we had news, as you can see. This is gold. Now remember, Wednesday was also a swing day. Remember, I posted the swing days on Monday. And this 2,365 was a monthly price target, which got hit on Tuesday. All right. That got hit on Tuesday, and this was an Astro hour on Tuesday, if you recall. So if you sold here on the price, you would have been just fine, okay? And yesterday was a swing day. If you sold the highs, you should have been just fine. And even if you bought the lows, for example, this is an Astro hour. And remember, I gave you 2,325. If you bought here at the Astro hours, you should have been okay. This is another Astro hour. You should have been just fine. Your trade should have been covered and you would have been in profit. Okay, so today's Thursday. We've got news coming out again today. All right, so you've got to be mindful of the news. I've already posted the Astro hours. Let me just refresh this so we get our daily pivot into this area here. Okay, so the Astro hours, as you can see, they're starting around lunchtime today on Thursday. Today there are 2 hours you need to be mindful for. Well, actually one. This is specific for gold at 7:40 p.m. my time. So make note of it. Specifically for gold, 7:40 my time. All right. And basically, if we find ourselves at highs, for example, yesterday's high or retesting the 2365, I think selling is okay. We have here a red day. Okay, so a reversal beginning on Wednesday is okay. Our first support is 75, 2,328. So we have to go below this. We have to break this. Okay, 2,328. So we've got to break this. And that's the previous day low. Now, if the market comes and breaks the previous day low, but goes up back in there quickly, okay, be careful because we could get back up again. All right. So the important thing here is we've got a PST breach, okay. And if the market does decide to sell off, if we break through that, we should stay below it, okay. And the market can push down into 62.59. All right, 62.59. Let's say this zone here, 2,288. is going to be a target for us. The monthly is also there, 2,288 is there. And then we can also take, let's say 57, 2,279. So we should end up somewhere here. All right, so those are your levels there, bang, bang, bang. All right, if it decides to break. So if we're back up at the highs, selling is okay, in my opinion. On the weekly as well, we're at quite high levels. And on the monthly, like I said, we've done that level. So a bit of a retracement is okay. We want to go back up. Obviously, this is a great impulse wave after a consolidation. So when the market comes back, we're going to be looking for places to get back in the game. Okay. Let's take a look at the euro dollar. This is the daily. Now, this is beautiful. I've been telling you can sell this off from the highs. Okay, and as you can see, this is exactly how it panned out. Now look, yesterday, if you take a look at the Astro hours for yesterday again, this was what was it? I had 230, didn't I? 230. This is 230 here, and I think, what else did I have? Was it 215? Let's see, this is 215, 230, remember? Now this is a really, really nice setup. 215 is right there as well. Beautiful setup, right in there, going straight down on our bias as well, okay? And this is your 7 o'clock. And remember, what we had down here was 5:45. What's this? 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock. Okay, so 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock. That's your 7 o'clock there. and that's your 8 o'clock right there, guys. And that's your price target. Remember, we said we were thinking of getting down here, so we made that price target, that price target. That's a beautiful follower. Okay, so it's all good on the euro dollar, and this was like a nice one too. I did say if it breaks out, be careful, don't stand in front of it. But as you can see on daily, it's right there, it just fell off like a rock, bang. Okay, so that's fine. No breakouts there. Now remember also with the euro dollar, we're planning on coming all the way down here. Okay, remember this box that I drew before? Remember our thesis? Okay, that's wave 1. We should have an A, B, and a 5 wave down. So we should have like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 7 down here into this zone, into where the blue dotted lines are, or possibly where this white line is here, and that's where we want to start going back up again. So we're still following this down, we're not doing anything out of the ordinary. On the weekly, you got the HCL1, which is 1.611, and on the daily, so no selling here obviously, all right, because this is where, you know, the market has come down to the target. Okay, so no selling here, but we've got room to come down. Okay, what you can do today is, if the market gets back up into into the daily, into this zone, we're okay to sell off. Okay, so that's a good impulse wave. If we come up a little bit here, then this will turn into a rectangle, and then what you want to do is sell the highs of the rectangle. Okay, weekly pivot is also a good place to be selling off. Okay, but don't know if it'll get there. If it gets there at an astro hour, great, so you can follow that through doing so. If we break below the previous week's low, right, if we break down, and if the market comes back up quickly, don't rush into a trade. Okay, wait for the news, see how things pan out, because they'll break this, bring this all the way back in, and then after this dump, they'll do a pump and then leave you out there dry. Okay, so just be mindful. SP 500, this is the daily, nice and easy, all right, on this zone here. Okay, now this, remember Wednesday, we didn't have a swing day for Wednesday on the SP 500, but our swing day was Tuesday, remember? Now this is the Wednesday, and this is the Tuesday, right? So Tuesday, market sells off. The only thing they did on Wednesday was, as you can see, sweep the stops. So if you know a bit of technical analysis, if you learnt from me, you would understand what I'm talking about. This is the high of Tuesday. And look what they did in New York. They swept the stops and sold off. Okay, so that's a beautiful setup too, if you know technical analysis. Okay, you could have equally gotten into the trade after the breakout of the low of the day, and you could have sold off just there, just flying down as well. All right, so this is a good setup. Good to notice these things. The market takes out all the stops, but closes back below the high of Tuesday. It doesn't go above the high of Tuesday. All right, so it doesn't close above it. That's what I'm trying to say. It went above the high of Tuesday, took out everybody's stop loss, but closed below. All right, and then the next, bang. So that's how this panned out. What to do? Well, we've got news coming out again. If you take a look at the daily, this is a buy zone, all right, so where the market bought before. So we're inside a triangle here, as you can see, and this is not a bad support level. On the weekly, we've got a bit of room to come down. Now look, we've already done the targets. Look at that, 68. We've got a target at 66, which is 5,117. 5,117. I'm just going to move this down here. There. Okay. So that's still a target. And this is the previous day's low. If we come down and go back up quickly, then it's not a bad sign to get back in to reverse, because the market is bullish. And this is where they broke out. So market coming down here to get back up is not a bad idea. All right. On the monthly, that is your LCL1, which is 5,109. So we're going to have to keep an eye on 5,109, which is just under there. All right, so these are going to be support levels, okay, on the weekly and on the monthly, as you can see. And on the daily, that 41 is 5,144. 5,144 is there. All right, which is the previous week's low there. Now look, they broke the previous week's low and quickly got back in there again. Okay, so this is kind of like taking out the stops and going back in. So this is exactly what I mean. If we come down and then get back up quickly, like here, this is bullish. All right, because they just sweep the stops and got back in. So this is why I said if we're down here at Astro Hours, or down here sweeping the market and going back in quickly, then this is going to be an opportunity to join the trend where the market broke up. Okay, because this was the resistance. This is where they broke out. This is where the buyers came in. All right, so going up from this zone into there is not a bad idea. All right, so let's put that there as well. 5,118 is the closing of that bar, I think. Yeah, 5,117. All right, so coming back there, 5,117. It's all good. All right, so from this zone going back up. So maybe next week, if we're sticking around here, a swing day next week will be like going up, or tomorrow, Friday, can be the beginning of a swing day going upwards. Let's take a look at Dow Jones, Nasdaq, and Bitcoin. All right, so this is Dow Jones, nice and easy again. Same kind of setup. Okay, remember Wednesday. All right, Wednesday. I said Wednesday could be a swing day for Dow Jones. Be careful for that. And that's how it was. Remember Tuesday and Wednesday, bang. So Wednesday, nice and easy. Coming all the way down. And this is it. All right, so what to do with this? Now remember I said we might have a head and shoulders. Okay, and look at that. Nice and easy. So if you think about it, that's your shoulder, head, shoulder, and we have a breakdown. Now here we have to be careful. Okay, here we have to be careful. Let's take a look at the weekly. Okay, now if this week, see we got room down here at 55, so we've got 38, 211, 283. 38, 211 is down here. 283 is here. Alright, so we've got room to dip down. So we have to be a bit careful with this one. Okay. If the market sells off again at the daily, let's get rid of these. At the daily pivot, that's okay to sell at. Also 38,552, let me double check. 38,571. 38,571 was pretty much your daily pivot. So the market can come up here. Okay. And daily pivot, like they sold here, could be a place where the market can sell. Okay, now we have to be careful. Why? Because if the market closes this week below the low of this, then next week we need to come up to sell here. All right. If that happens, we don't know yet. Now remember, I want the market to come back down here, and I'd like to see a nice low. If that low happens on the 3rd week of April, which I mentioned before on numerous occasions, then that's great to get back into the game. All right, so like we can start buying, because you can see this is nice and bullish. Okay, so you don't want to be standing against the trend, and look where the market pretty much came out from. All right, so that's good targeting on the price. So we could come back into there. That's 37,000 zone, and that should take us into pretty much there. All right, so 36,000. So we should dip down if that's how it happens. All right, but no selling here, because that's a weekly target done. All right, so if the market decides to go back up next week, we can sell off here on a good buy kiss, and that's it. So what to do with this? With the news, you got to wait and see how things are panning out and trade it in the direction that the market finds. Because once you find a direction, remember, I'm putting targets. Okay, yesterday I put a target as well. So we should hit down into the closing or whatever. So if we're up here, and then the market should kind of fall down into 9 o'clock or something, whatever target I gave you, and that's the location. All right, so you just get out. So we can follow that through, and if it does break down, like I said, from here, if we keep pushing down, it could come down here nicely. That's the head and shoulder target zone there. All right, you can see it can just pretty much come down quickly, and the market can start going back up again. Let's take a look at NASDAQ. NASDAQ, same kind of thing. As you can see, sweeping stops and then pushing down. Remember, NASDAQ has a Thursday or Friday swing day. Okay, but the indices go together. So whenever I say there's a swing day for an index, you got to be mindful. You got to watch your targets. Now look at that, 18,289. Look at that. Market gets there and pushes down. Why? Because that's your PST level. Beautiful. When does it do it? Just there. Obviously I didn't have an Astro hour there, that's 3:15, but that's a PST level, and you don't muck around with a PST level. Okay, so selling there was beautiful, coming all the way down here. We still have a bit of room to come down. We're still in the box here, as you can see, with NASDAQ. Now this could be the market trading sideways, okay, maybe coming down a little bit more. The price may not go down that low, but the PST will come down. That'll give us a good entry from here again to push up. So the market's got a bit of room to come down into this zone, as you can see here, and then we'll see how things pan out. Okay, but we should but we need to understand we're in a bullish market. Okay, so if you're trading NASDAQ, okay, those levels are going to be levels which we can anticipate and then push up. So when we come down here, we're buyers. Okay, here, if we come down here, we're buying, and so on. Okay, so that's how things pan out here. What to do with this? Well, this is your support level, so 17,789, so no selling around there. 17,789, so we can expect the market to dip down a little bit. Okay, so if the market comes up, selling into here is okay. On the daily. On the weekly, you see we've got levels at 50, 57. What do I got here? 57, 54. So 17,817, 658, 477, 434. So if you trading NASDAQ, be mindful for this 53, 59, 54, 57 price levels at Astro hours, because there'll be targets there, and that's on a weekly. Okay, so we could find ourselves down here. If this is a double top, and if we break the low of this week, which is 17,760, and the market stays below there, when it comes up, we need to sell down. Okay, let's take a look at Bitcoin. Now with Bitcoin, let's see, the market fell down. Now remember with this one, we had Tuesday swing day, and then the other swing days are coming up on the weekend, aren't they? So this zone, I said, is a target zone. This is a buy zone, so I said no selling down here. If you sold here at Astro hours, well, this is today, isn't it? So let's see. All right, so as you know, we do not sell the lows. So if you bought yesterday, let's see, this is 4:15, right? We had Wednesday, 2:30 we had. Okay, so this is 2:30 there. All right, and then this zone here was 5:40 we had. Is there 5:40? So that's the direction. If you bought here on the weekly afterwards, you would have been okay to get back into that 8 o'clock. Okay, 8 o'clock or 7 o'clock. That's your 8 o'clock there. All right, and that's the closing there. So once you find direction, you're kind of okay to go in, because 10 o'clock, remember we had 10:15, 10:20, I think 10:20, 10:30, and then we had, that's your 10:20, then we had 11:36, so 11:40 is there with your Astro hours, nice and easy. All right. Okay, so this would have been like the buy entry if you got in here. Okay, because we don't sell the lows, we're always selling the highs. Okay, so you can also wait for this on Saturday and Sunday, see how things pan out. Obviously we're in a triangle. Now remember what I said yesterday. I said if this is going to break out, we've got to make sure the lows are keep going up and up. So we should not breach this trend line here. It just needs to be above, above, above. And if it breaks out, then it breaks out. Now remember, look at the price action here. The market is sweeping the highs here, but closing below, and this is selling off, and it's an engulfing. Market can sell off at 63, which is 72,938. Right, 72,938. So $72,938 somewhere around here, okay, which is just there, but it must close low. All right, so that will be a place where they might sell off on the daily. On the weekly, look where they bought: 74, 67, 255, 67, 255. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. All you got to do is follow the PST. 67, 255 is right there, right on the edge. Okay, it's right on the edge. So obviously this is not an Astro hour. If it was an Astro hour, this would have been a buy level, because it is right on the weekly PST, as you can see. But the market is still bullish. Okay, so if you want to go long, then you gotta see if you can come back down here. This is, let's follow this through, 42, 65, 714, 65, 714 is all the way down here. If the market comes all the way down here, 65, 714, this is another buy place, so no selling here. If you want to sell, like I said, you can sell the highs. Okay, this zone I marked in yesterday. As you can see, the market stalled and stopped here, but that's your daily PST. So if we get up there at an Astro hour, it's sellable there. Okay, you can wait for a reaction as well, because the market is going up, so selling against it is a bit tricky. Okay, if the market's going up, buying against it is a better idea. If you want to buy, you can buy around the opening, the daily, the weekly, to push up into that zone. And that's about it.